Here we go. There. So welcome tonight to our last session, the fall of 2020. And it's been quite a session, quite a year for choir. And I'm so happy that all of you were able to come on tonight, and really happy that we've had really successful sessions all throughout the fall. So September, October, November, we've worked our way through this whole Zoom online format. And really, I can't say enough that it's been so great to see everybody's face. And really, Ian and I were chatting that, it doesn't really matter so much about what we did online and what session we were doing. It was about seeing one another and waving at one another, and just getting familiar with faces. And so even though, we did learn quite a bit, and take up lots of topics and see lots of people, it was so great to say that the Arn Prior Community Choir was going, and that we were really active, and that we're kind of staying strong, even if it was in and out with with who we saw on screen. It was really, really great. So tonight, it's our final kind of hurrah for 2020, and we are really happy that both Ian and I came together to do a mini concert. And we have had mini concerts in September and October. Some of you were here, and maybe some weren't able to join us, but this is the format. And I feel very current, because universities and music programs and other concert series are doing exactly what we're doing. So it, other than being together, which would be the best, this is the second best, so that we share the screen, we enjoy seeing one another and celebrating our musicians that we feature in our concerts. And tonight is no different. Later, you'll be sent the link so that you can enjoy the concert on your own, probably with better quality. Tonight, it's exciting because we're all seeing it together for the first time, but depending on your internet, you'll see what you see, and it'll come through as best as it can. But you will be sent the link so that you can sit and maybe in the holidays or in December, really enjoy the concert just at your own leisure. So, Ian, how about you unmute yourself, and we'll get tonight started. So, Ian has an absolutely beautiful church in Carleton Place. And for the first time, I got to visit Ian at his church last week. We did the recordings for my songs, and it is really, really a treasure. And I can't wait to, maybe when everything gets past COVID, we'll be able to maybe go visit Ian and sing as a choir, at his church. So Ian, why don't you tell us a little bit about kind of what's happening at your church, what's happening with the organ, and how you had to change gears for tonight.
Sure. So can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. So originally I wanted to do to showcase the different sounds of the organ. So like we have trumpet sounds, we have flute sounds, and then play a piece that represents each of those. But the organ was taken out and refurbished, and it's not quite done yet. I thought it would be. It's 2 months after they said it would be done, so I'm very anxious to get playing. But anyway, so I had to switch gears and do something on piano, and that was just a few days ago, because I thought maybe it'd be ready, and I'd wait. I waited and waited, but no. So here I was trying to come up with an idea, and I thought something that came across my Facebook page. It said it was Beethoven's 250th birthday in December next month. So I thought, okay, why don't I do some Beethoven stuff? So that's what I did. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. It's and one non-Beethoven thing at the end, but you'll see what that is later. So
yeah, it's I think, gosh, probably for all of us, 2020 is about being flexible, and one thing happens, and you just kind of, okay, well, we'll go this way with it or go that way. And when I got to Ian's church last week, there was a huge hole in the floor, and I thought, oh, I don't think it's going to be done. And sure enough, so, but that's okay. We do what we do. So I'll have you know that when we go online next term, so when we start in 2021, our January concert is going to feature the organ. So we were talking, Ian and I were talking back and forth, and we're going to revamp the concert, and we'll do one with the organ in January. So for tonight, Ian and I really wanted to present pieces for you and for you to enjoy. And so I've laid out the evening's pieces in a way that I hope, Ian, that it's going to sound good to you. I ordered the pieces a little bit thinking of timing and just grouping them together. So what I'm going to have us do is we're going to have a set of 3 songs to start with. So Ian, what I thought is we would start with the Sonatina in F, followed by the Allegretto from the
Sure.
Symphony in 7, number 7, and then one of my pieces. So if you could, why don't you introduce those 2 pieces, so the Sonatina in F and the Allegretto.
Sure. So the sonatina in F is a smaller version of a sonata. And sonata is just not a car. It's actually a musical form. Um, and it's got 3 main sections. So these are kind of fancy. The exposition, which is the introducing the theme, the main theme. And then you have the development, which is normally another theme that comes in, another melody. And then you have the recapitulation, which is a good word, which just brings it all back around again. So the main theme from the beginning. So this is one of Beethoven's more easier works, and it's just kind of light. It sounds like Mozart. It's towards the beginning of his career when he wrote this. So it's simple and it's just light and nice. So I hope you enjoy it. Oh, and then the Allegretto after is actually from his Symphony Number 7 for orchestra. So it wasn't written for piano, but somebody transcribed it, and I think you'll recognize it. It's been used in some movies and some other stuff, so you'll probably recognize it.
Good. And then to finish off that set, I'll be singing one of my favorite arias, and it's from the Handel's Messiah. I thought I'd introduce a little bit of Christmas music or a little bit of Advent, and I'm going to sing the How Beautiful Are the Feet. But what's interesting about this is Handel wrote within the Messiah several versions of this aria. So what we typically hear is the soprano aria of How Beautiful Are the Feet, but the alto never gets to turn the page and sing this aria, and it's never done. Actually, I've never sung it for alto. So as you notice and hear it, there's the tune is somewhat the same, except there are some differences in the melody that he wrote. So I chose to do this How Beautiful Are the Feet. And for Ian and I, this is so awesome for us to try this format. So what I did, and I think Ian did the same thing, we just used an iPad. So you'll see when I perform, I just put an iPad onto a music stand, and we were amazed. I think the sound is pretty good, and it was a whole new learning process to upload and to trim it and to feature, singing together. Ian is way over. You won't see him. We're distanced, in the church, but it works, and it was really exciting to get together and perform. So what I'd ask you to do is, if you can, turn off your video. It just helps a little bit with the process, and I'm going to share screen. So the 3 pieces are going to go just back to back to back. So we'll hear 3 together. So enjoy. All right, so if you want to bring your videos back, that you can clap for us. Oh, I don't know. Maybe speaking on from Ian and I, to be together to perform, minus the audience. I mean, it's just fantastic. We just had such a good evening to perform those, and then of course Ian had to do his all by himself. So okay, the next set. So Ian, if you want to unmute, the next one I have in this next set is your sonata in G.
Yeah, so can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, the mic on my earphones is not working very well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
hear you.
okay, so the sonata in G is just like I explained earlier with the sonatina, except this one's an actual sonata, so it's a bit longer, and it goes through all of the proper, the development, exposition, recapitulation. It was also written earlier on in his career, so it's it's a bit harder than the first one you heard, but it's still kind of that simple, almost Mozart like. His later stuff is very much more emotional, which you'll hear, and thicker, but this is kind of just light, dancey. So yeah.
Good. And then following the sonatina in G, I'm going to go, right on to my next number, which is a favorite carol, has always been, although my students would say that I say that about every song. They're my favorite. But it's an arrangement of In the Bleak Midwinter, but it's the Harold Drake version. So that what is in most hymn books is the Holst, Gustav Holst version. In the bleak midwind, that version. And I grew up with that. We in the United Church, at our church, it was always the offertory. So what can I give him, poor as I am? So, but the Harold Drake version is absolutely gorgeous. And it was actually, I researched a little bit, and it was voted in 2008 one of the most favorite Christmas carols by concert masters and choral directors. Now, who, I don't know, but anyway, that's what I read. And it also, the setting of lyrics by Christina Rossetti is, you'll find many arrangements of In the Bleak Midwinter, and I like all of them, but this one has always been a favorite. It was a bit of a challenge for me. It's often but done by cathedral choirs. So for those of you, with the British UK affiliations, King's College Choir will do it. The many of the English cathedral choirs will do arrangements of In the Bleak Midwinter, and it's beautiful. So if you enjoy this, you can YouTube search a few versions of the song. So first of all, we'll hear Ian's Sonata in G, and then In the Bleak Midwinter. So if you turn off your video, the connection might be a little bit better. So here we go.
heaven cannot hold him, nor earth sustain. Heaven and earth shall flee away when he comes to reign. In the bleak midwinter, a stable place sufficed. The Lord God Almighty, Jesus Christ. Enough for him whom cherubim worship night and day, a breast full of milk and a manger full of hay. Enough for him whom angels fall down before. The ox and ass and camel which What can I give him, poor as I am? If I were a shepherd, I would bring a lamb. If I were a wise man, I would do my part. Yet what can I give him? Give my
Right. Thank you. Add the video if you would like. That would be great to see your faces.
Lots of memories.
Oh my goodness. You can see that Ian's church is just fabulous. It has this beautiful grand piano, which we were able to, to use, and Ian used in his solos. And so I can't wait to see, the refurbishing of the organ. But Ian said to me that when I got there to sing, they had taken away the cushions, the pew cushions, because of COVID. And oh man, it was really echoey and yeah, it was really nice to sing in there. So that was
The
good.
cushions might just disappear one day, and maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Ian will rip up the carpets and all sorts of things. Makes such a difference. Oh, so awesome. Okay, so we're going to continue along. So in this next little set, Ian is going to play the Adagio, the Cantabile from the Pathétique. So maybe if you want to, I don't know if you have anything to introduce.
Yeah, so this is the middle movement. So the second movement from his piano sonata number 8. And so he wrote 32 really big sonatas that have like 3 or 4 movements, and they're very hard. And this one is the easier movement and stuck in the middle between 2 really hard ones. Still pretty hard, but it's easier. And it's probably one of my favorite piano pieces just because the melody is so, I don't know, I can't find the word for it, but you'll see what I mean. It's beautiful. So.
Great. So everyone will enjoy the Adagio from the Pathétique. So again, you can take away your video if you can. That was fantastic, Ian.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh my goodness. So I don't know, maybe everyone has this question. So how many have you played these before, Ian, or did you have the Beethoven repertoire?
So the sonata in G, actually, I did that for, I think it was my grade 9 piano exam. And I pulled it out and I kind of just winged it. But that one I've been working on for a little bit, just in my spare time because I love it so much.
Mm.
So you can see it's very different from his earlier stuff. It's like full of emotion and it's very different.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
If you said you were sight reading that, I was going to come over there and kick your butt.
I was not say reading that. Be impossible.
Just a
Oh.
quick question. I think there's some French lyrics to that song called Plaisir d'amour. I don't know
There
if you've
probably
heard-
is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
and
surprised. Yeah.
Plaisir d'amour ne dure pas toujours. So, pleasures of love don't always last long. And that's what I remembered when you started playing that. That's just beautiful.
Mm.
Thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
wonderful.
Isn't that awesome? Oh, that's so wonderful. And it's an amazing instrument to have at your church. So
It is. Yeah, I'm very lucky.
how long have you had that grand piano?
It's been there ever since I got there. It was actually the man that used to play before me. He was there for 57 years. I think that's a bit of a record.
Yeah.
But he bought it. He bought it for the church, and in memory of his cousin, I believe it was. And he also bought an upright for the music room. So very, very lucky to come into that. So
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Oh, well, now we're coming into the last part of our program. So there's 2 songs left. So I have a song that I chose for us to do. It's a kind of a 2 melodies that intertwine. And of course you'll recognize Silent Night.
Oh, no, it's
Um,
doing that.
But the
Got plugged in now, so it can't be that.
oh, sorry. The tune Silent Night is interweaved with an original melody, All on a Silent Night. And I chose to do this one. It actually has an obligato for a cello. And it did cross my mind. I thought, oh, should I call Sandra? If you remember Sandra Allen, who did who did the cello concert with us a couple years ago. And I thought, oh no, I better not. We'll just leave it with the two of, the two of us. But another time when it comes out of this time, I'll probably do this with cello. It would be absolutely beautiful. So All on a Silent Night. I think you'll enjoy that, Carol. And then Ian is going to end with an arrangement of Just a Closer Walk with Thee. So maybe Ian, if you have anything to say about that one.
yeah, so this arrangement, ever since the organ was taken out, I've been having to find piano music to play for church, which can be a bit of a challenge. And I was digging through some books, and because I inherited all the books that the man who played before me had, and that's a lot. So I was looking through all his stuff, and I came across this book, and I was looking through, and there's nothing really good in here. And then I came across this arrangement, and I thought, whoa. And I played it, and it was like all the other arrangements in that book were just, they were okay. And then but that one really stood out. And so it's very different from what I was playing before, the Beethoven, but it's fun. It's a fun one.
Excellent. So enjoy All on a Silent Night, and then we'll finish the evening off with Just a Closer Walk with Thee. So again, if you want to take off your video.
On a silent holy night,
That is awesome, Ian.
Thanks.
Probably the congregation has never heard such jazzy stuff.
I played it last Sunday, actually.
Awesome. Awesome.
And they enjoyed it.
They must have loved it.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Oh, so what an awesome program. I mean, I just from performers, you know, who want to perform and want to sing with one another and play with one another. This was just awesome. But also just to be able to have a goal, you know, for Ian and I to have something to work towards and know we're going to get together and perform. It was just awesome. So Ian, thank you for sharing all that great music.
Oh, thank you. It was great to sing or play with you while
I
you
know.
sing. Yeah.
You know, we had to be so distant, you know, we you know, Oh, it's gonna come. It's gonna come soon, but you know, it's nice to do these things that are kind of you know, safe and really fun to work towards. So I would encourage you. You're going to be sent an email with the link to that YouTube playlist. So please, if you know, if you enjoyed all of it, listen to all of it again, or pick several pieces. We'll have it all listed. When I share these things online, I lower the quality because I don't know. I've done lots of research on how it comes through best, you know, on these Zoom screens. So when you go to see it on a YouTube link, it'll be better. You'll even be able to see it with better quality, and if you have good internet, you know, really try and enjoy it again. I think you really will. So a few things to mention coming up. So of course we're done the season. So we did September to November as a choir, and you're going to be receiving a December mini newsletter. So a shout out to Rhonda. Where's Rhonda on my screen? I think she must be on. Oh, there she is. For me. Rhonda has just done a terrific job. We've all, you know, come up with these ideas and articles, but of course, Rhonda has the creative design behind it all. And so you're going to see happy holidays and wishing everybody a Merry Christmas over December. The executive, we've already met, and we are going to be doing this same format in January. So 2021, we will be online, on Zoom, January through March. And just depending, we're just going to keep our fingers crossed and see how things go. One thing really exciting that we might be able to add is Ian Douglas. So if you remember Ian, he was one of our African drummers, and he wrote The North Wind. He is writing a piece for us, and I've heard the sketch of it. So he is like this close to finishing the piece, and it is awesome. You are all going to love it. And if it becomes, you know, the way I think, maybe we'll rehearse a little bit online, learning the parts, and if we're really lucky and things go the way they're going to go, maybe in the spring we'll be able to meet, maybe outdoors, or meet somewhere to start working on it. But starting in January, we'll be online doing the sessions. For those of you that come out, we really appreciate it. But you know, if you're reading the newsletter, that's awesome. You know, if you're able to do that and enjoy and stay connected, that's great. The sessions, you know, we try to make them fun. And Ian and I, you know, I don't know, maybe I speak for both of us, but it's really creative to do these things, and we get to, you know, come up with different themes and try to make them interesting. And again, end of January, you're going to hear the organ. So I think that'll be a really great concert. One other thing. Oh yeah. Okay. So I also wanted to mention, you'll hear it in the December newsletter, but two things to watch for. We may change the time of our get-togethers from right now. We're starting at 7:30 like we do at choir. But gosh, when it's so dark and it's so wintry, it seems kind of late. And we wonder if maybe starting at 7 o'clock might be a better idea. So we'll talk about that. You know, speaking for myself, you know, I'm kind of in my PJs and winding down mode at about 7:30. Yeah, I think we can all attest to that. So we're thinking of maybe starting these sessions at 7. Yeah. No, Maggie, not all the wine. So we'll just see about that. So watch for the time. And as far as donations, we so appreciate all of those members that were able to donate to this season. Again, speaking on behalf of both Ian and I don't know, we just so appreciate the support, and being able to receive the salary that we receive from ACC has made the world of difference. I mean, I'm able to do what I can do, and I can teach a little bit and stay connected with choir. And, you know, it again made the difference. And I think for Ian as well. So we really appreciate that. But your donations have also gone to the Legion. We have supported the Legion throughout the whole time we've been, you know, having to stop rehearsals. So, so again, your donations have supported all the expenses that we have at choir. So again, you're going to see in January, we have a new term. And again, for those of you that are able or interested in donating to our next term, great. And that keeps us kind of afloat and going. But then again, all fingers crossed, we'll be able to be together in the fall. Last thing that I'd just like to announce is that my group that I sing with, Mike McCormick and James Hercash and myself, we're called LMJ. I think most of you have maybe heard us at one time or another. We're going to be doing a live performance of our Christmas celebration. So you can save the date. It's December 5th at 7 o'clock. Now, I know you all have that weekend free because in my calendar book, I had written sing Noel, sing Noel, sing Noel. So if you're around and you'd like to link into that, I will be sending you the click, you know, how to link into that. So you'll get that later, but just save the date. It's December 5th. We are together at Trinity St. Andrews up in Renfrew. It's again, like Ian would, and I maybe said about this concert, it's pretty good. You know, we are so happy to be together. James and Mike and I are distanced enough that we're, you know, we're maybe not as tight as we would be in person, but it's fun. It's really fun for us to get together and do the performance. So if you're interested, join in and watch us. You can always watch it later too on Facebook Live. So you'll be sent that. Ian, is there anything else? I think we've.
I don't think so. Yeah, just thanks again for this. It's been great.
Yeah. Marianne, anything? I think we've covered it all, but sorry, I'm not putting you on the spot, but I think we've got everything covered as far as the choir goes. She's getting really good at the mute, mic on, mic off. You just wait, I've put her on the spot. Oh no, now we're, oh there. It's all right. This is all good. I know I've covered it all. It's okay, Marianne. So how about for those members that want to put their mic back on, why don't we give a wave or a chat to everybody? So come back on with your mic on. Dawn, do you have a joke for us?
There's no joke. I'm jokeless today.
Oh, Marianne, this is
But I
the
will say, just there is always some synchronicity in these meetings. And I've talked to this with Lisa before, but two things tonight. One, when somebody asked me what my favorite songs of all time are, one of them that I think is the best song ever written is Silent Night. So Lisa, for bringing that forward to me is unbelievable. And the other thing, Ian, Just a Closer Walk with Me is a song that was played at my mom's funeral. And every time I hear it, I go back to happy times, and it brings a little tear to my eye. And when it was sung at my mom's funeral, it was played. My son sang it or played it on a trumpet with a piano player. Played it ragtime style, again some swing, and that has really brought extra special to tonight and to the Christmas season. So thank you for that.
That's awesome.
Thank you. That means a lot, Don.
I've got a joke. What's a snowman's favorite breakfast cereal?
Ice crispy?
No.
Frosted Flakes.
Good one. Good one.
Another snowman one. This is for the little kids that you know. What did one snowman say to the other? Do you smell carrots?
Very good.
Good one. Good one. Well, this has just been awesome. It's so great to see everybody. And I can't wait to turn the year over to 2021, as I'm sure all of you. And I know that 2021 is going to bring us back together again. That's for sure. But to have a wonderful,
Amen to that.
yeah, amen to that. Have a great December. And again, watch for the newsletter because it's going to be some treats of listening. If you're, in a quiet moment and you wanted to listen to some Christmas carols, there's going to be some links and just some words that you can read over the holidays. So
Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Oh,
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
thank you.
Thank you, Lisa and Ian.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Great.
You're awesome.
You're most
That's
welcome. It was lots of fun. Great to see everybody.
Yeah.
Totally awesome.
Bye.
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 Bye, guys.
There.
Joyeux Noël.
Have any bells to it? Be amazing.